to portray. I want to go to Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal now, former Attorney General of Connecticut, sits on the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator, you watched that. Was that your reaction when you saw that press conference, Elon Musk and his son standing while Trump was sitting at the Resolute desk? But Elon Musk, 20 of the 32 minutes were devoted to Elon in this press conference. What did you see there?
It's an obvious public relations ploy, Erin, to push back against a lot of the criticism. Musk has dropped precipitously in popularity. I talked to my Republican colleagues, and they are aghast at the unpopularity they're hearing from their constituents. But it also seems to be an effort by Donald Trump to be the president and show that he's in charge. And the issue here really is transparency. If Elon Musk wants transparency, he should make available fully and completely all of those financial disclosure forms. I demand that he make public all of his finances.
Well, you know, it's interesting when you say that. When Jeff was going through his donations, right? His donations appear to be about equivalent generally to Scott Bessen's net worth. Who is worth a lot of money and disclosed and divested and did all the things that one should do if you're going to be Treasury Secretary or in such a position in the U.S. government. So when Musk was asked today about this conflict of interest, Senator, he responded, all of our actions are fully public, maybe referring to his ex-posts. And then he added this.
All of our actions are maximally transparent. In fact, I don't think there's been, I don't know of a case where an organization has been more transparent than the DOGE organization.
And yet, they're trying to keep, records there private until 2034, which is a bit confounding, obviously, with that statement. But do you believe him when he says that?
I don't believe him. You know, he has contracts with all of these agencies that he is now privy to all the data and information about. He controls potentially the contracts in those agencies that are awarding contracts to Tesla or SpaceX, Starlink, Neuralink, all of the companies that he owns that have made him a billionaire. And I don't believe for a moment they're ever going to make public the relevant facts here. He's giving new meaning to the word corruption. And rather than rooting out fraud, abuse, and waste, they're firing the inspectors general, who are the watchdogs.
I'm curious, Senator, what you think, and I know this is just, what's in your head, but Elon Musk is already the world's richest man. So, some people say, oh, well, he wants to get more government contracts. I mean, I suppose maybe, but you could also make the case that no, money isn't what this is about at all for him. This is about something else. But, I mean, and that wouldn't excuse no disclosure. I'm not trying to make that argument at all. What I want to ask you, though, is what do you think this is about for Musk? Do you think it's about more contracts and money?
I think it's about more contracts and money, but it's also about control. If you control the information, you control the lifeblood of many of the companies that Elon Musk controlled. That information then can be shared with some of his billionaire tech friends. He sent this crew of 20-something tech bros into companies. They are reaping, harvesting, collecting information. And if you follow the information as well as following the money, what you see is that he is enriching himself and the billionaires in this process.
I just want to ask you also, Senator, because you're on the Judiciary Committee, the number of legal cases against the Trump administration is mounting. As you know, courts have paused temporarily Trump's actions on a number of fronts, but it's all in process, right? It's temporary. It's got to work its way through the system. An appeals court tonight declined the Trump administration's request to lift an order that blocked Trump's so-called spending freeze. So, in other words, there was a freeze. They fought it. Court said no, right? So right now it's going in the system, but they haven't been winning. Are you confident that they will continue to do it the way they've been doing it, which is to file briefs and fight within the system?
I'm confident that there will be continuing court actions to block these blatantly illegal actions, and I am supporting, as are many of my colleagues, these actions to stop the law-breaking that occurs when there are hiring freezes, funding freezes, firing of inspectors general, holds on funds for Head Start, medical research, life-saving measures. But I have no confidence that the Trump administration will follow those court orders. So far, there have been instances of non-compliance, and if there is intentional non-compliance, there should be contempt orders against Trump officials and potentially against Donald Trump himself. He has no immunity against civil contempt orders.
All right, well, Senator Blumenthal, I appreciate your time as always. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I want to bring in